Hi, what's up, Harry? How old are you?
I'm 29.
Okay, how do you feel about the background?
Uh, yeah, I'm not convinced that at least some abortions are schmurder. I think some are schmurder, but not all.
Why some and why not all?
Yeah, because I don't see any ethical issue or why we would call it schmurder if we perform an abortion before the development of sentience. I don't know why I should care about non-sentient life.
I mean, okay. So, so by non-sentient, like by sentience, you mean the capacity to be able to feel, right?
Yeah, something like that, like the capacity to have subjective experiences, to experience the world from within, something like that.
Yeah, so everything does that. Everything experience something in like a subjective form. We all have some type of subjective
Why would I believe
experience.
that?
What do you mean? Why would you believe that?
Do you think plants are sentient, for example?
Yeah, they have sentience.
No, I don't think any serious biologist would
So
believe that.
would you
Like plants,
say
obviously, they react to stimuli. They react to stimuli. That doesn't mean they have a capacity to have subjective experiences. They don't have minds. They don't
okay,
feel
yeah, they don't
pain.
have
They don't
minds.
think,
Sure.
etc. That's what I
Sure.
mean. I think
Yeah, sure.
only entities with minds. My position is that only entities with
Okay,
minds can experience murder and deserve rights.
so entities. So would that apply to, animals?
Yes, obviously, I am against people murdering animals. At least sentient animals. Not all
Are
animals are
you
sentient. I don't
vegan?
think, like for example, Bible. Yeah, of
Are
course I am.
you vegan?
Why
Okay.
wouldn't I?
Okay. Okay, you're vegan. Okay, so you don't think before, the development of sentience, we don't really you don't really care if the fetus is unalived. So just because it hasn't reached a point
Correct.
in, development where it gains sentience, why should we be able to unalive it?
Yeah, I think the question is why shouldn't we? Right? I don't think non-sentient beings deserve rights.
Okay.
Why should they? I don't think we give rights to apples. We don't give rights to like
Yeah,
bananas or whatever. Like
because
why would we
right,
give a
because
right to
those can
a
never be
non-sentient fetus?
sentient, but a fetus can. A fetus can gain a future like ours if we let it develop. I mean, we're not saying that, oh yeah, there's no possible way that this fetus can, deploy consciousness or gain some type of sentient faculty, but it can. So why are we depriving it of reaching that state where it can deploy all of these qualifiers that you think we need the right to live?
I think that logic would lead you to sperm rights or egg rights reductives. Like those, obviously, those things like sperms and those kinds of cells, they can become sentient if they were to be together, right? So
Yeah.
why wouldn't we give rights to them as well?
I mean, we wouldn't give the same rights to sperm because it's not human life, right? So when a fetus is already human life and it's developing, we obviously give it a chance because it's already alive, it's human life, and it's developing. So I wouldn't say the same for a sperm. Yes, it can meet an egg, but a sperm
I'm
itself,
curious. Can I ask you something for clarity?
yes, of course.
Are you against using contraception?
Contraceptives, no, I'm not.
Well, why? Because there can be a sentient being. If you were to not use contraceptives, there could be a sentient being that arises. So why are you preventing that sentient being from existing? The same sort of logic you're using with my position.
Right. So why people use contraceptives is to prevent a life from happening. So yes, we can understand that it will maybe it will gain a future like ours. But I wouldn't say that just because there's no life there yet. Honestly, If you were to ask me, yeah, there's
Well,
no
there
life
is
there yet.
life.
No, there's
There is
not.
non-sentient life because the sperm and the egg is life, right?
It,
So
you're
there's
saying,
non-sentient life. Just like,
but are you saying
yeah,
sperm
sorry,
is human life?
go
I
ahead.
would have to disagree with you. I mean,
Well,
yes, it
it has
can be.
human DNA. So according to that, to some definitions of human life, it is human life because it has human
So
DNA.
can
But the
you
point is, it is
explain
like
to me what the
in both
seven
cases.
qualifiers of human life are?
Before we go there, what I'm trying to say
Okay.
is that in both cases, in the use of contraception and in the performance of an abortion, in both cases you're just like terminating the possibility for sentient life. So I see it as like morally equivalent. It's the same thing.
I think they're getting
Okay,
at
so
something.
I understand
Oh,
that
go
you see. Yeah, no, I do. I truly do understand. But when we are terminating the life of a fetus, right, that is not sentient, we are depriving that fetus of, gaining a flow, right? And when we use contraceptives, that is already preventing you know, a fetus from, you know, uh, it's basically preventing fertilization in the egg, right? So I wouldn't say that we're, terminating the potential sentience because it didn't already like occur that it's gonna gain it because it
Sure,
just didn't
sure, but
happen. It didn't.
it could happen. It could
It
happen
could,
if you
but it
didn't
didn't
use the
fertilize
contraceptive. So my question is, why would I care? Like, if in both cases the consequences are the same, the
because a
consequences being
fetus is
a
going to
sentient life
gain
not coming into
sentience.
existence, and a sperm and an egg, if you didn't use a condom, would result in sentient life possibly as well.
Yeah, but that life is not there yet. It's not there. So when we use
Well,
contraceptives, those
and the
prevent
sentient life.
fertilization or they prevent implantation, right? But in the case of like a fetus, that wouldn't be the case because that life is already there. And we're preventing from that fetus now gaining sentience. So it would be different because when we're using contraceptives, those they prevent life from occurring or they prevent implantation. In the other case where we're, bringing AB into the play, that's just terminating a life that is going to become sentient and going to deploy
Yeah, so
consciousness.
I can agree with you. I can agree with you that both are like different processes,
Hmm.
obviously. But my point is that the results are the same. The results being sentient life is not gonna come into existence. I'm just not convinced that I should care about people murdering like non-sentient life. Like, just like I don't care that people like chop down trees or people like eat
Okay.
apples. I don't care. Why would I care?
Okay. Well, you should care that people chop down trees. That's kind of the source of our oxygen. But moving away from that.
Well, so let me clarify my position. I care in as far as it affects other sentient life. Obviously, if
Okay.
people like destroy the whole environment or something, that's gonna be bad. But that's just bad because trees are instrumental to sentient life. It's not
Yeah.
because trees have like intrinsic value. I don't think non-sentient fetuses or embryos have intrinsic value either.
Heri, can we unalive people in comas?
Sorry, bro. I got a call. Can you repeat the question? Sorry about that.
Can we unalive people in comas? Because right now they're not sentient. Presently, they're not sentient. They can't really deploy consciousness
Yeah. So
because something
no,
in
and
their head
I'm
is kind of
gonna.
stopping
Yeah.
them from doing that. So can we
Yeah, yes,
unalive them?
exactly. So I don't think I think it's immoral to analyze them, and the reason is because I think like uh, the precondition for a life having value is being sentient or already acquiring sentience at some point in the past. So I think beings that already acquire sentience at some point in the past, like coma patients, have value. I think it's bad to murder them
So
if they have the potential for sentience in the future. And so it's the conjunction of those two traits. So having acquired sentience in the past plus having a possibility for experiencing sentience again.
okay, so you would agree that gaining sentience again for people who are in comas is important, right? Them having a future ahead of them is important. I don't understand why that wouldn't apply to a fetus. I know it doesn't have any past sentience, right? It doesn't have past subjective experiences. Yes, but you can agree that future sentience is important. So the reason why we ought not deprive.
I think so. In my view, it is only important for beings that have already acquired sentience in the past. I don't think it
Oh,
is
okay.
like uh, important in itself. So, do you agree that I have a consistent position at least
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get what
regarding
you.
the coma patients? Okay.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Honestly, I did. I don't really know how to argue that because you don't really value past sentience. But honestly, my part of the argument is that still, just because a fetus, hasn't gained sentience in the past, and it does have a potential to gain future sentience, I think we, ought not deprive it from gaining that and gaining a future like ours. You know, it's not.
Sure, I understand. I understand that's your position, and that's fine. We could have like different values, but I think that your position leads to reductios about contraceptives and like giving rights to eggs and sperms, because you're doing the same thing. You're by using contraceptives, you are stopping sentient life from coming into existence, just like in an abortion.
Okay, I do understand what you're
By the
saying.
way, can I ask you to understand your view? Why exactly do you think like non-sentient if fetuses like have value? What's your like criteria for somebody to have value?
So my criteria for someone to have value is they have to be within, the Homo sapiens, as well as the potential to gain future sentience and deploy consciousness, and be able to contribute to society in the future in any type of way that they can. So even if that let me take that back. So I value Homo sapiens and the potential to deploy consciousness as well as sentience.
Okay, I understand. Can I ask you like a question to test your logic a little bit on that? So let's say your neighbor was gonna commit an abortion, and it was like at the first trimester. You would say that's wrong, right? That's wrong of her to commit an abortion.
Yes.
Okay, but now let's say as a hypothetical, let's say that we tested her DNA and it turned out that she wasn't a Homo sapiens, but she had like identical psychological experience. She had like the same body that a Homo sapiens would have, but we tested their DNA and it turned out she wasn't human. She couldn't interbreed with humans, so the baby wasn't human at all. It wasn't a Homo sapiens. Would you now say that the abortion is not bad?
And the first trimester.
Yes, pre-sentience.
Okay. So then no. But if it was up to the mother, well, actually, yes, I would have an issue with that because that fetus will still, gain sentience whether it's human or not. It still can do the same things that us humans can do when it deploys consciousness and has some type of, sentient value. You know what I mean? So I would base it off like potential
Wait,
sentience, regardless.
sure, sure. Wait, but do you understand how that would lead you to a contradiction?
Wait, what contradiction?
Yeah, because I asked you what's the criteria for a being having value, and you said one of the criteria is for it to be Homo sapiens. But when I found you an example of a being that wasn't a Homo sapien, you said it still would be wrong. So now, like you're like simultaneously asserting that being a Homo sapiens is and is not part of the criteria for value. So that would be a contradiction.
It's the potential for.
So why would it have value? Why? So it's just the potential. So you're saying that like any abortion of any being, it doesn't have to be a Homo sapiens. Any abortion is wrong.
Yeah,
Oh wait, then why are you not vegan? I know this is a separate topic, but why be okay with murdering animals then?
I'm not.
Okay, so do you agree that veganism is like a moral obligation.
Veganism
I
is
don't
an
mean to change the topic,
obligation.
by the
It's the
way, but
way
it's just
to
your own
like.
position.
No, you're good. Wait, hold on, cause I have to do
Yeah, I didn't mean
something.
to change topic. It's just like it kind of led to this, your own logic.
So what I'm getting is you feel like any type of abortion is wrong.
Not me. I think only abortions
My
past
bad.
abortions post the development of sentience are bad. I think abortions pre-sentience are fine.
Yeah.
My bad, guys. I was doing something.
So for the
But
host, I have a
Heri,
question for the host.
what's up?
Do you feel like any
Yeah, sure. You. I'm happy. I'm happy to leave the conversation so you can talk with the host. But like, I just want to conclude the conversation. So,
I
host, do
understand
you
you.
then agree that we should be vegan
Yeah, veganism is an obligation. Absolutely.
So for the host, do you feel
based
like
based?
any abortion is wrong?
Anyway, nice
Yeah,
meeting you,
yeah.
bro. I'm
Heri,
gonna
you
hop
had a
off. Nice meeting you, brother.
really good argument. I appreciate you coming up. Thank you.
Take it easy, brother. Bye bye.
All right, so argument.